Greetings, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal International. Begin with our top stories. Two persons have died and others injured after public transport birds hit them at Valle Besenge in Douala. The birds traveling from Chateau Bonaberry to Ntokoti suffered a catastrophic brake failure near the forage Besenge, veered off towards Valle Besenge, causing it to collide with vehicles and bikes along its route. We'll tell you more in this edition of Newscast. And 4 young boys in their early 20s have been arrested by the Center Regional Judiciary Police for the murder of a young lady who couldn't pay a ransom of 100,000 francs CFA. And primary schools in Kongsamba have commenced the practical phase of the first school living certificate and SEP examinations of the 2023 and 2024 academic year. Those are major stories. Titles right ahead.
Canal International.
Good evening once more. 2 persons have died and others injured after a transport bus collided or hit them at Valle Besenge in Douala. The bus traveling from Chateau Bonaberry to Ntokoti suffered a catastrophic brake failure near Forage Besenge, veered off towards Valle Besenge, causing it to collide with vehicles and bikes on its path. Administrative authorities were at the scene to take stock of the situation. More with our reporter, Gladys Ambo-Diba.
This is the public transport bus in Douala that wreaked havoc after it lost control, claiming 2 lives and leaving several others injured. Passengers on board recount the horror of the moment when the bus en route to Ntokoti from Chateau Bonaberry experienced a sudden brake failure near Forage Besenge. In the chaos that ensued, the bus veered off its designated path, colliding with vehicles and motorcycles in its wake. At Forage Besenge, the bus collided with 2 vehicles before careening into another turn. Losing his brakes, the driver desperately attempted to regain control to no avail. He smashed into vehicles, piling up others and bikes along the road until finally at Valle Besenge, he stroked a bike and came to a halt. Amidst shouts and prayers, we realized the doors were locked and the bus, filled with smoke, were forced to break the windshields to escape. Promptly alerted of the situation, Littoral's governor, Samuel Diodone Ivahadibua, alongside other administrative authorities and security forces, swiftly responded by mobilizing to the scene to assess the severity of the incident.
The bus who lost the brakes just went through and just hit some people. Just 2 people died and 2 are injured.
The aftermath of the accident has left a somber atmosphere in Douala, with the injured victims currently receiving urgent medical treatment at the Lakentini Hospital.
And in a heart-wrenching incident, a tragedy befell the Ndombe neighborhood in Kribi in the south region of Cameroon as a 5-year-old Lionel Kedi met an untimely demise under mysterious circumstances. Swept away by waters, his grieving mother, Marie-Therese, recounts the harrowing events of May 6 when her beloved son vanished at the Mbonde Bridge. Lionel, a cheerful student at the Adventist kindergarten, left an empty seat that Wednesday morning, leaving his classmates and school director in disbelief. For Marie-Therese, her little one's death seems premeditated, leaving her shattered and seeking answers as the community mourns loss of young Lionel, his mother, clinching to her pleas for divine intervention to unravel the truth behind the son's tragic fate. We'll tell you more in our next edition of Newscast. And 4 young boys in their early 20s have been arrested by the Center Regional Judicial Police for the murder of a young lady who couldn't pay a ransom of 100,000 francs CFA. The main leader of the gang happens to be the victim's ex-boyfriend, a love story that turns into criminality. More with our reporter, Hyson Cha.
This is how the ugly scenario unfolded on March 27, here at the Mimbuma neighborhood in Yaoundé, where life was squeezed out from Eva Pauline Lala, Denise Lebaramo, by her ex-lover and friend over 100,000 francs. In a remake, this May 8, the boys got into her house through the back door, waited for her in the sitting room, and once she got in at about 7 p.m., they requested for the she didn't have at the moment. She called the grandmother, informing her that she has been kidnapped and the unknown men were demanding for ransom. The supposed murderers would further hit her on the head with a pistol and strangling her to death, taking away her telephone and the car keys. Few meters from the house, the ex-boyfriend called his elder brother, a dismissed civil servant of the national security, who came on a bike and met them in a smoking mode. He then carried them away with the victim's car as they looked for clients to sell. The family later filed a complaint to the Central Regional Division of the Judicial Police after the discovery of her lifeless body in the advanced state of decomposition 2 weeks after the incident. The Chief of Unit, Police Commissioner Moise Emane and his elements launched a search for the culprits, cracking down 4 of them and establishing the role each played. An act the police authorities say is highly influenced by drug consumption.
Young people today use drugs, and they have to know that the consumption of drugs, the drug consumption jeopardize their life and jeopardize people's life. So we have to denounce all the strongholds of drug consumption by calling 1500 or 117.
The action this Wednesday unfolded under the watchful eyes of the Mfundi State Council, Njinji Luke, as the suspects will be facing the law to answer for their crimes.
In the wake of a tragic incident that occurred in Bafia in the central region of Cameroon, where a 17-year-old girl was discovered dirt at her boyfriend's residence, questions arise regarding the appropriateness regarding adolescents' relationships. Today, a reporter ventured into the economic hub to parents' opinion on whether young individuals should embark on romantic relationships at an early stage. More with our reporter, Christy Aya Are.
For Bernadette, unless her child is at least 20 years old, she will never accept a romantic relationship. Many parents in the economy hub share the sentiment that children should not involve themselves in early relationships. I cannot accept my child should get into a relationship. I can never accept that. I condemn that with all my heart. I can never accept my child to get into a young relationship, at least from 21 years old. Why some parents are against early relationship for their children, others hold a different view.
If the boyfriend is a good friend, a type of friend that do concentrate in his education, for me, I see that there's no problem. Nowadays, if you don't allow your daughter to have a friend, she may go astray.
According to Marius Chasep, a psychologist, the problem does not lie in engaging in early relationship, but rather when those relationships become toxic.
At the age of adolescence, it's normal to get a lovely relationship with other people. It's linked to the biology, it's linked to the psychology. It depends on what type, what do you do inside this relation?
For him, fostering a healthy relationship between parents and children is crucial. Regular communication with children allows them to be more open.
For parents, we can advise them to start discussing with their children very early, as soon as possible as they are still young. And start to discuss will prepare the children to be aware of something and to be able to explain what they face, even badly or good, with their parents.
When a child's hormones start to develop, it is normal for them to explore various experiences. Parents are called upon to educate their children from an early age.
Communication stakeholders are determined to be more present on the social media to make sure people get the right information in order to preserve their societal values and protect the image of Cameroon. The outcome of a 2-day annual conference of heads of central devoted and external services to bodies under the supervision of the Ministry of Communication that ended today in Yaoundé. Beatrice Ngamo with that story.